Holy cow, I just got done watching the NASCAR race at Las Vegas, and I've got to say, it was probably the best race I've ever seen. So I'm going to be analyzing this race in 4 categories. First, I got the broadcasting category, the racing category, problems, and what this race has taught us. So first up, we got the broadcasting category. So the broadcasting was good overall. I mean, I'm going to point out the bad stuff. I want to say that it was an average broadcasting. Like, in no ways it was a bad race because of the broadcasting. I just want to point out some of the problems about the broadcasting. So, first of all, Danica Patrick was in the booth this weekend, and she talked about IndyCar more than she talked about NASCAR. Like, someone will be side drafting each other, and she'll be like, "Oh, we do that in IndyCar." Or like Daniel Suarez will hit the wall and lift his hands off the steering wheel. She'll be like, "Oh, we did that in IndyCar. We learned that in IndyCar." And I'm not trying to hate on her. I'm just trying to like say what she can change, alright? I mean, I think she's in the booth next week at Phoenix, so just try not to talk about IndyCar as much. Alright, this next one is my opinion. I think they had too many commercials. I know this is like what someone spoiled would say, alright? I don't want to sound spoiled, just how I'm saying it. I know the reason why. It's because we had so many cautions, like we'd have a restart, then a caution to come out, then a restart, then a caution. And during that's like their time to get in their commercials so they don't have to play it at the end. Just the thing is, I feel like you're just like showing us more commercials than the actual race itself, which I know is not true because the race was like 4 hours long. This next one was really weird. I just kind of put it in just like as a little note. I guess I'll talk about it. Clint Boyer mentioned dirty air a couple times, and I'm not like a master or whatever you want to call it. I don't know everything about the next gen car, but I'm pretty sure it eliminates most of the dirty air. And I don't know if Clint Boyer was actually knowing what he talked about, because I don't. He probably knows a lot more than me, which he does. But I just feel like you don't have to talk about dirty air anymore. Sure, you can mention it, just he talked about like 1 or 2 times. So next up is the racing category. First up, I just want to talk about this. I feel like there is no momentum. Like, you could be running the top lane and someone could be running the bottom lane, and you would still get the same run on the back stretch. And I feel like this is just on short runs, because the one long run we had towards the end, it really showed us that there is a lot of momentum. But I just feel like on the short runs, there's no momentum, like, at all. Like, sure, if you get loose, you're gonna slow down and everyone else is gonna have more momentum than you, but like, I'm talking about if you, like, runs. Like in the Gen 6 car, if you run up high and someone runs down low, when you get off the corner, the guy up high will get a run on the backstretch. This next one we've been talking about since the clash at the Coliseum. Cars braking. I mean, Denny Hamlin had a power steering issue. He had no power steering, and I think he might have fixed it, but for maybe 20 laps, he had no power steering and was still somehow passing people. I know there's a lot of technical issues at the clash and stuff, but it's like, we really gotta get this figured out, alright? Like, we've been waiting for this car ever since 2020. I feel like we shouldn't be having this problem. Going back to the momentum category, I guess you could say, when there was momentum, there's a lot of crossovers, which I love. I love crossovers. It just makes so much better racing. Like, in the closing laps, MTJ was closing in on Kyle Busch, and he passed Kyle Busch, but Kyle had more momentum, and he went down low, and it was a really cool crossover, and Kyle got the lead and started to pull away. And I thought that was really cool. It made great racing. And yeah, I thought that was really cool. I know other people talked about this at Auto Club for the next one, but cars would spin out on their own, more like the cars were hard to drive. And I didn't really mention this much in my Auto Club video, but yeah, cars would spin out on their own or just be hard to drive. I thought it was maybe because Auto Club was like a different type of track, an older track, but no, here at Las Vegas, they also were hard to drive. So this next category is problems. I only got 2 problems here, and the first one is the tire problem. I know it kind of went away, but we still saw 2 incidents where Christopher Bell spun out and Bubba Wall spun out. And Christopher Bell was just bouncing like crazy as if he had hydraulics. Like Clint Boyer said he was bouncing his teeth out, which is a little weird, but yeah. Then Bubba Wallace slammed the wall hard, but the tire barrier saved him. And his car was in not bad shape, and then the tire just destroyed the car. Like, it ripped off the side. Well, not all the side, but the right front, it just tore up. And the next one is numb legs. I forget who had numb legs this race, but I know last week Tyler Reddick had numb legs. I really don't know how big of a problem this is. Just I feel like if you're a driver, you don't really want to have that. Like, you want to focus on racing and not your legs. Now for the last category, what did this race teach us? Well, the first thing is that Joe Gibbs is still here. I mean, the last 2 races, Denny Hamlin did not get in the top 10. And he still didn't get in the top 10 this race because of an issue on pit road. But Denny Hamlin led laps, Christopher Bell led laps, I'm pretty sure Martin Truex Jr. led laps, and Kyle Busch pretty much won, but then that incident at the end of the race. This is not really what it taught us. Just I want to mention this. This was the first time the next gen car has been in lap traffic. And it wasn't a problem. Like, it was the same as last year. Like, I feel like nothing really changed. I know MTJ was using the lap cars as a pick to get past Kyle Busch, but it never really worked. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that. Alright, this next one is pretty big. This car evens the playing field. And I mean evens the playing field. I mean, like, well, maybe not evens, but Ross Chastain passed Kyle Larson, like, in clean air. It was they were racing each other. It was Kyle Larson versus Ross Chastain, and Ross Chastain beat Kyle Larson to win stage 2. And I just feel like Ross Chastain just beat the best man in NASCAR. And I feel like he didn't even try that hard. He just, like, drove past him. I feel like it's either Kyle Larson is losing talent or Ross Chastain is getting good. Alright, so these next 2 are my opinions, so don't hate me for it. How the car raced in general. If I'm being honest, I loved this race. This is probably the best race I've ever seen as a NASCAR fan. And this isn't my second race. I've been a NASCAR fan for, like, a while now. So I've seen plenty of races, and this one is awesome. To me, I just like the spread out racing and all of that stuff. I just really like seeing the cars, like, not really using dirty air and just actually being able to pass each other. And to me, that's just really cool to see. And for the last one, I think the Gen 7 car is the best NASCAR ever. I mean, look back at all 4 races we've ran this year. All of them have been a success. The Clash at the Coliseum, amazing. It brought in new fans and was a great success. It had a good finish, kind of. It had rage, and it had crashes, everything that is awesome, and it was in a football field. Then we go to Daytona. We see a flip, the big one. We see good drafts, really no single file racing, and an awesome finish. Then we go to Auto Club, which is last week. We also see rage with Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson. We see great racing and also a pretty cool finish. And now we go to this week. Not that much rage, but it was still a cool finish and great racing. all of these are great successes, if that's even a word. And I just think that is really good. And I would talk about the finish more, but I think I'm going to make a separate video on that. Anyways, that'll probably be it for this video. I will see you guys next time. See ya.